Hey, welcome to our explainer. Today we're going to dive into how you really connect with highly successful people. We're going to move way beyond that typical kind of transactional networking advice and explore a strategy that puts human connection first and business second.
It's a question a lot of us have, right? But the problem is we often start with a completely wrong strategy. We lead with what we want or what we can do for them, and honestly, that can slam doors shut before they even get a chance to open.
Okay, so let's start with the biggest, most common mistake people make. It really all boils down to using the wrong kind of bait.
In this analogy, it's pretty much everything. So often, we try to impress people with the stuff we think is cool, our skills, our big achievements. It's literally like trying to catch a fish with your favorite pizza as bait. It just doesn't work. You gotta use what the fish wants.
And that's the big mistake, right? Leading with your amazing skills, your fancy degree, or your killer business idea is usually the wrong move. Why? Because all of that is about you. The real game changer is to stop thinking about what you're good at and start digging into what they genuinely, truly care about.
So, if talking about our skills is the wrong bait, what's the right one? Well, this brings us to what real value actually looks like.
This slide really breaks it down. On one side, you've got functional value. You know, what you can do for their business, your marketing skills, your coding genius. But on the other side, that's where the magic is. That's emotional value. It's about connecting with their life outside of work, their family, their hobbies, the stuff that makes them, well, human.
I mean, think about it. These people meet tons and tons of others who can help their bottom line. That's not special. The way to be memorable, to actually stand out from that massive crowd, is to tap into what matters to them on a personal, human level.
So you don't start big by offering to manage some huge project. No, you start small. You focus on something that isn't intrusive at all. For example, maybe you find out their kid's birthday's coming up, and hey, you're pretty good with video editing. You could create a short, little celebratory video. It's this thoughtful gesture that shows you're paying attention and you're not asking for anything back. See, you're trying to win their heart, not just their business.
You know, these small, emotional gestures, they're like deposits. And they're building up an account of the most valuable currency in the entire world, trust.
Trust isn't something that's just given away. It has to be earned. You can't demand it, you can't ask for it. And that brings us to the two core ingredients for how you build it, step by step. And here they are, the two key ingredients for trust. First, it takes time. You absolutely cannot rush this. Second, it needs consistent action. You have to provide that value again and again and again, not just one time. It's that powerful mix of time and consistency that builds something real.
Now, sure, getting measurable results, like increasing their sales, that's important. That's the tangible side of things. But the source really stresses that the intangible stuff, that personal bond, that's where the real, lasting relationship gets built. Being someone they can talk to about their life is often way more valuable than just being another person who talks about numbers.
Okay, so this all leads to a really fundamental, and I mean critical shift in your entire mindset about why you're even trying to connect with them in the first place. This right here, this might be the single most important takeaway from this entire explainer. If your intention is purely transactional, if all you see is a walking wallet, genuine people will see right through that in a heartbeat. The connection has to be real.
And check this out, this is kind of wild. According to the source, a whopping 90% of conversations with his most successful connections have absolutely nothing to do with business. They're talking about the gym, family, travel, concerts. That tiny 10% for business, it just pops up naturally from that strong human foundation.
There's actually a psychological reason for this. It's called proximity bias. We are just wired to trust people we feel close to, both physically and emotionally. And that's exactly why sharing informal experiences is so powerful. Going for a walk, grabbing coffee, or even helping them think of a gift for their kid. It builds this essential closeness that a formal meeting just never can. All right, and finally, let's cover the one principle that really cements these genuine relationships. Always give more.
Let's be real. Meeting expectations is basic. It's the status quo. Everyone does that. The people who get remembered, the ones who build that unbreakable loyalty, are the ones who consistently deliver more than what was asked for.
So think of it like this. If someone's expectation is a 10, delivering a 10 just makes you average. You should always be aiming for a 12 or even a 15. For instance, on a project,
Maybe you take a smaller profit margin to show you're more committed to their long-term success than to your short-term fee. Now that's an act of over-delivering that they will not forget.
So the winning combo, the whole shebang, is putting all of this together. It's about consistently giving emotional value, building a truly genuine human relationship, and always, always over-delivering. That creates a powerful, authentic connection that is so much more valuable than any single deal.
And that leaves us with one final thing to think about. I want you to reflect on your own professional network. How many of those relationships are just transactional, and how many are truly human? The answer to that question could honestly change your whole approach to building connections, starting today.